June 7, 1992. Noon. Springfield, Missouri. Janelle Kirby and her boyfriend Mike pull up to 1717 East Delmar Street. They're looking for their friends. Suzie and Stacy were supposed to meet them hours ago for a trip to a water park. They never showed. The house looks normal. 3 cars in the driveway. Suzie's red Ford Escort. Stacy's Toyota Corolla. Suzie's mom Cheryl's blue Corsica. Janelle walks to the front door. Something crunches under her feet, broken glass. All over the porch. The globe covering the porch light has been smashed. The bulb is still on. Shining in broad daylight, the door is unlocked. Janelle pushes it open. Suzie. Stacy. Mrs. Levitt, no answer. She walks inside. The house is silent. 3 purses on the couch. Car keys on the table. Cigarettes, both Suzie and her mom smoke constantly, left behind on the counter. The family dog, Cinnamon, is inside. Acting strangely. Jumpy, the beds look slept in. But nobody's home. Janelle sees the answering machine. The red light is blinking. Messages, she presses play, multiple messages. Some from friends calling about their plans. Some from Stacy's mom, Janice, sounding increasingly worried. Stacy, where are you? Call me. Janelle listens to them all. Then she does something that will haunt this case for 33 years. She erases them, all of them. She and Mike walk back outside. The broken glass is still there, covering the porch. Evidence of something. Mike grabs a broom. Starts sweeping. Cleans it all up. Throws it away. Then Janelle starts calling friends. Asking if anyone has seen Suzie and Stacy. Nobody has. Throughout the day, more people arrive. 10 to 20 friends and family members, walking through the house. Touching things. Moving things. Looking for clues. At 9 p.m., 9 hours after Janelle first arrived, someone finally calls the police. By the time officers arrive, the crime scene has been destroyed, the broken glass swept away, the messages erased. Fingerprints contaminated by 10 to 20 people who walked through, and 3 women, Sherrill Levitt, age 47. Her daughter Suzie Streeter, age 19. And Suzie's best friend Stacy McCall, age 18, have vanished without a trace. They had graduated from high school the day before. Celebrated at parties. Came home around 2:15 a.m. Went to sleep in a house with 3 cars, 3 purses, all their belongings, and a family dog. By morning, they were gone. For 33 years, no one has seen them. No bodies. No ransom demands. No confirmed sightings. Just 3 women who disappeared from a locked house with no signs of struggle, except for that broken porch light, the light that someone swept away before police ever saw it. This is the Springfield 3. The most haunting unsolved disappearance in American history, and it started with friends who tried to help, and destroyed everything. Welcome to Case Unknown, where we investigate the crimes that changed nations, the cases that exposed hidden evils, and the stories that demand to be told. Last episode, we examined Tanya Ryder, a woman who survived 8 days trapped in her car because her husband refused to give up. Today, we examine 3 women who didn't survive. Who disappeared from a locked house on the happiest night of their lives. Who left behind everything except their bodies. This is the Springfield 3. Not just a disappearance, but a case study in how well-meaning people can destroy evidence. How a single decision, to sweep up glass, can haunt a case for decades. What happened to Sherrill, Suzie, and Stacy? Where are their bodies? And who erased the messages that might have told us everything? You're about to find out. This episode discusses an unsolved abduction case, suspected homicide, and the permanent disappearance of 3 women. We'll examine evidence, theories, and unanswered questions. If you need to skip this one, we understand. June 6, 1992. Springfield, Missouri. Saturday afternoon, Kickapoo High School graduation ceremony. Hammond Student Center at Missouri State University. Hundreds of graduates. Proud families. The beginning of adult life. Among the graduates, Suzie Streeter, 19 years old. Stacy McCall, 18 years old. Best friends since childhood, Suzie is blonde, petite, bubbly. She lives with her mother, Sherrill Levitt, in a small house on East Delmar Street. Sherrill is a single mom, a cosmetologist, only 47 years old. She and Suzie are close. More like sisters than mother-daughter. Stacy has long dark blonde hair, a dimple in her chin, freckles. She's been friends with Suzie and another girl, Janelle Kirby, since they were kids. Inseparable, the ceremony ends at 4 p.m. Photos with families. Hugs. Excitement. Freedom. The school offers an alcohol-free overnight lock-in until 8 a.m. Sunday. A safe option. Suzie and Stacy decline. They have other plans. The plan, Suzie, Stacy, and Janelle Kirby plan to attend some graduation parties Saturday night. Then they'll stay overnight at Janelle's house in Battlefield, Missouri, a small town about 10 miles from Springfield. Sunday morning, they'll drive to Branson and spend the day at Whitewater, an amusement park. They've booked a hotel, perfect graduation celebration. Nothing complicated, but plans change. Saturday evening, Suzie has a graduation party at her own house first. Her mom, Sherrill, is there. Family and friends. Suzie receives a Cocker Spaniel puppy as a gift. Photos are taken. Sherrill is invited to dinner with Janelle Kirby's family. She declines. She's tired. She'll stay home. Suzie heads out to the parties. Sherrill stays behind with the new puppy and their family dog, Cinnamon. Sherrill's last known activity, a phone call at 11:15 p.m. She talks to a friend about painting a dresser. Normal conversation. Nothing unusual. After that, nothing. Saturday night into Sunday morning, Suzie and Stacy go to Janelle Kirby's house in Battlefield around 10 p.m. or so. More friends arrive. Party atmosphere. They're supposed to sleep there. But Janelle's house is crowded. More people showed up than expected. Sleeping bags everywhere. Not much room. Around 2 a.m., Suzie and Stacy make a decision. Let's just go back to my house. We'll sleep there and meet everyone in the morning. They say their goodbyes. They leave separately, each driving their own car. Suzie in her red Ford Escort. Stacy in her toy OTA Corolla. At Janelle's house, they had received strange phone calls. Obscene calls. Sexual innuendos. A man's voice. Janelle hung up multiple times. The calls were disturbing but not necessarily alarming. Suzie had complained about prank calls at her mom's house recently. They were annoying, but teenagers got prank calls. It happened, 2:15 a.m., June 7, 1992, last confirmed sighting. Suzie and Stacy leave Janelle's house in Battlefield, heading north toward Springfield, destination, 1717 East Delmar Street. Suzie's house. A 15 to 20 minute drive. They arrive sometime around 2:30 a.m. We know this because their cars are found in the driveway. Their purses are inside. Their clothes, the outfits they wore to the party, are folded and left in the house. They went to bed. Sherrill's bed looks slept in. The girls' clothes suggest they changed and prepared to sleep. Everything appears normal, except by morning, all three women are gone. Sunday, June 7, 1992. Morning, Suzie, Stacy, and Janelle had plans. Meet at Janelle's. Drive to Branson. Spend the day at Whitewater. Stacy doesn't show. Suzie doesn't show. Janelle tries calling. No answer at Suzie's house. She calls again. And again. The phone just rings. Around noon, Janelle and her boyfriend Mike Henson decide to drive to Suzie's house. Check on them. Maybe they overslept. Noon, June 7th. 1717, East Delmar Street. They pull up. 3 cars in the driveway. Sherrill's blue Corsica in the carport. Suzie's red Escort in the driveway. Stacy's Toyota behind it, but something is off. Suzie and Stacy's cars aren't pulled all the way forward. Like they parked in a hurry. Or like they were interrupted. Janelle walks to the front door. Hears glass crunch under her feet, the porch light globe is smashed. Broken glass everywhere. But the bulb itself is still on. Still working. Shining in the noon sun, she tries the door. It's unlocked, she opens it. Walks inside. Suzie. Stacy. Mrs. Levitt, silence, the house is eerily still. Nothing looks disturbed. No overturned furniture. No signs of a fight. But 3 purses are on the couch. Suzie's. Stacy's. Sherrill's, car keys on the table, cigarette packs. Both Suzie and Sherrill smoke constantly. They wouldn't leave without cigarettes, money. Cash left out, the family dog, Cinnamon, is inside. Alive. But acting strangely. More jumpy than usual, Janelle walks through the house. Sherrill's bedroom. The bed looks slept in. Covers pulled back, the girls' clothes from the night before are folded. They changed. They went to bed, but now they're gone. Janelle notices the answering machine. The red light is blinking. Messages, she presses play, multiple messages. Some from friends asking about the Branson plans. Some from Stacy's mom. Janice McCall. Her voice gets progressively more worried. Stacy, where are you? Stacy, call me back. Stacy, this isn't funny. Where are you? Janelle listens to all of them, and then she erases them. Why? She later explains, she thought the messages were private. She didn't want anyone else hearing Janice's worried voice. She thought she was protecting Stacy's privacy. She erased potential evidence. Janelle and Mike walk back outside. The broken glass is still there. Mike grabs a broom. Sweeps it all up. Throws it away. Why? He later explains, he thought it was a hazard. He was cleaning up. Being helpful. He destroyed potential evidence. Janelle starts calling friends. Trying to find Suzie and Stacy. Nobody knows where they are. Throughout the day, more people arrive. Friends. Family. Everyone is looking for answers. Stacy's mom, Janice McCall, learns her daughter didn't stay at Janelle's as planned. She calls Suzie's house repeatedly. No answer. She leaves messages. By late afternoon, Janice drives to the house herself. She sees the cars. The purses. The cigarettes. The dog. She sees that her daughter is missing. 9 p.m., June 7th. Finally, someone calls the Springfield Police Department. By the time officers arrive, 10 to 20 people have been inside the house. Walking through. Touching things. Looking for clues, the broken glass. Swept away, the answering machine messages. Erased, fingerprints. Contaminated beyond recovery, the police are confronted with a crime scene that has been completely destroyed by well-meaning friends. Springfield Police arrive at 1717 East Delmar Street. On the surface, it looks like 3 women simply left. Cars are there. Purses are there. No forced entry. No blood. No struggle, but they left without their purses. Women in 1992 don't leave home without purses. No IDs. No money. No keys, they left without their cigarettes. Both Suzie and Sherrill were smokers. Heavy smokers. They wouldn't leave without cigarettes, they left their cars. All 3 vehicles. How did they leave? They left the dog. Cinnamon was inside. Nobody let her out. Nobody fed her, the broken porch light. The only sign of anything unusual. Now swept away, no one saw or heard anything. Neighbors reported nothing. No screams. No cars. No commotion. Police classify this as an abduction. 3 women taken from a locked house. But how? The scene, officers document what's left. Beds appeared slept in, clothes folded, no signs of struggle inside the house, the porch light globe broken, glass now gone, all personal items left behind, no indication of where they went or who took them. The answering machine, police try to recover the erased messages. Technology in 1992 makes this nearly impossible. The messages are gone forever. What was on them? Who called? Were there threats? Clues? We'll never know. The investigation, police worked the case aggressively. Over 5,000 tips over the years. Searches across rural Missouri. FBI involvement. Polygraph tests. Interrogations. They investigate several angles. Suspect number 1, Robert Craig Cox. Cox is a Springfield man with a dark history. In 1988, he was convicted of armed robbery. In 1989, while out on parole, he abducted a woman in California, Sharon Zellers, at knife point, drove her to a remote area, and assaulted her. She escaped. He was arrested and sent to prison. By 1992, Cox was living in Springfield. He worked as a utility worker. He had access to people's homes. He knew the area. After the Springfield 3 vanished, police took an interest in Cox. He had no alibi for the night of June 6th to 7th. He lived close to the Delmar Street house. In 1995, Cox was arrested again, unrelated charges. While in prison in 1997, he gave an interview to a reporter. He said the 3 women were dead. Buried in Springfield. Their bodies would never be found. Reporter: how do you know? Cox: I just know. Police investigated Cox extensively. Searched properties. Found nothing. He never formally confessed. He never implicated himself directly. To this day, Cox remains a person of interest. But no evidence ties him to the crime. Suspect number 2, Dustin Rekla and Michael Clay. In spring 1992, just weeks before the disappearance, Dustin Rekla, Suzie's on and off boyfriend, and his friend Michael Clay broke into a mausoleum. They vandalized it and stole gold dental fillings from corpses. Suzie gave a statement to police about the crime. She helped convict them. Some theorize, did Rekla and Clay retaliate against Suzie for cooperating with police? Both had alibis for the night of June 6th to 7th. Police investigated. Found no evidence linking them to the disappearance. Suspect number 3, the obscene caller, the phone calls at Janelle's house. The man who made sexual innuendos. Who was he? Police tried to trace the calls. Technology in 1992 made this difficult. The calls were never identified. Suzie had complained about similar calls at her mom's house. Prank calls. Obscene calls. Was this someone who knew Suzie? Someone who was obsessed with her? Someone who followed her to Janelle's party and then to her house? We don't know. The America's Most Wanted call, December 31st, 1992. 6 months after the disappearance, a man calls the America's Most Wanted hotline. He says he has information about the Springfield 3. The operator tries to transfer the call to Springfield investigators. The line disconnects. The man never calls back. Police say the caller had prime knowledge of the abductions. They publicly appeal for him to call again. He never does. Who was he? What did he know? For 33 years, theories have circulated. No bodies. No evidence. Just questions. Theory 1, Robert Craig Cox. Cox is the most commonly named suspect. He lived in Springfield. Had a history of violence against women. No alibi. Made statements suggesting he knew the women were dead, but no physical evidence. No confession. No witnesses. If Cox did it, how? Did he break in through the porch, hence the broken light? Did he force all 3 women out at gunpoint? Where did he take them? And why would he target that house? Did he know Sherrill? Suzie? Was it random? Theory 2, Dustin Reckless/Michael Clay retaliation. Suzie testified against her boyfriend and his friend. They were angry. They wanted revenge, but both had alibis. And would they really abduct 3 women, including a 47-year-old woman they had no connection to, just to get back at Suzie? It seems extreme. But not impossible. Theory 3, Sherrill was the target. Some investigators believe Sherrill, not the girls, was the intended target. Sherrill was single. Dating. Had male acquaintances. Did someone want to harm her? Did the girls just happen to be there? This would explain why all 3 were taken. If someone came for Sherrill and the girls woke up, the abductor couldn't leave witnesses. But who would want to harm Sherrill? Police never identified anyone with a motive. Theory 4, the obscene caller followed them, the man who called Janelle's house. Maybe he was at the party. Maybe he followed Suzie and Stacy when they left. He called. Got no answer. Decided to go to the house. He broke the porch light. Forced his way in. Abducted all 3 women, but no witnesses saw anyone follow the girls. And how would he know where they lived? Theory 5, they're buried under Cox Hospital. In 2007, a local crime reporter received a tip. The 3 women are buried in the foundation of the Cox Hospital parking garage. The garage was under construction in 1992. Concrete was being poured around the time the women vanished. The reporter hired an engineer with ground-penetrating radar. He scanned the garage. The radar detected 3 anomalies. Shapes that could be bodies. Springfield Police investigated the tip. They concluded it was not credible. They never excavated. The families have begged them to dig. Just look. Just check. Police refuse. Too expensive. Not enough evidence. To this day, the garage stands. And the question remains, are Sherrill, Suzie, and Stacy buried under it? The Springfield 3 case is defined as much by what we don't have as what we do, what we lost. 1. The broken glass. The porch light globe was smashed. The only sign of forced entry. The only sign of a struggle. Mike Henson swept it up. Threw it away. Was there blood on it? Fingerprints? Fibers? We'll never know. 2. The answering machine messages, multiple messages. Some from friends. Some from Stacy's mom, Janice, but were there others? Threats? Suspicious calls? Someone checking to see if anyone was home. Janelle Kirby erased them all. 3. Fingerprints. 10 to 20 people walked through the house before police arrived. Touched doors. Counters. Furniture. Any fingerprints left by an abductor are now buried under layers of contamination. 4. The porch light timing. The light was on when Janelle arrived at noon. Was it on when the abductor left? Was it on all night? If we knew when it broke, we might know when the abduction happened, but the glass is gone. The question is unanswered. 5. The 9-hour delay. Janelle arrived at noon. Police weren't called until 9 p.m., 9 hours of potential evidence collection. Lost. For 33 years, 3 families have lived in limbo. Stacy McCall's mother, Janice, has never stopped searching. She attends memorials. Gives interviews. Keeps Stacy's face in the public eye. I expected her home that night. The next day, maybe a couple of days afterward, Janice told reporters in 2017, 25 years after Stacy vanished. Never in my wildest imagination did I ever think that it would be 25 years later, and I would be saying Stacy is still missing. Sherrill Levitt and Suzie Streeter were declared legally dead in 1997. 5 years after they vanished, but their case files are still officially listed as missing. Not closed. Not solved. Janice McCall has never given up hope that someday, someone will talk. That someone will confess. That someone will lead police to where the bodies are buried. In 2022, on the 30th anniversary of the disappearance, Janice spoke again. Somewhere, someone knows. And I need them to speak up. These women deserve to be found. Their families deserve closure. She's right. Somewhere, someone knows. Robert Craig Cox. The obscene caller? Someone else entirely. Someone knows where Sherrill, Suzie, and Stacy are buried. And they've kept that secret for 33 years. June 6, 1992 was supposed to be the best day of their lives. Suzie Streeter and Stacy McCall graduated from high school. Their whole futures ahead of them. College. Jobs. Love. Adventure. They celebrated with friends. They laughed. They took photos, and then they went home. By morning, they were gone. Along with Suzie's mother, Sherrill, for 33 years, no one has seen them. No bodies. No graves. No answers, just 3 women who vanished from a locked house, and the evidence that might have solved it, swept away by friends who were trying to help. Janelle Kirby has said she will live with that decision for the rest of her life. Erasing those messages. She thought she was protecting Stacy's privacy. She didn't know she was erasing potential evidence. Mike Henson swept up the glass. He thought he was cleaning up. He didn't know he was destroying a crime scene. These weren't malicious acts. They were mistakes. Made by people who didn't realize what they were walking into, but those mistakes haunt this case. Would those messages have told us who called? Would the glass have given us fingerprints? Would we know who took them if we'd preserved the scene? We'll never know. What we do know, 3 women deserve to be found. 3 families deserve answers, and somewhere, someone knows what happened that night. Maybe it's Robert Craig Cox. Sitting in prison, holding his secrets. Maybe it's the obscene caller, who followed them home. Maybe it's someone else. Someone who has never been named. Never been suspected, but they know, and until they speak, Sherrill Levitt, Suzie Streeter, and Stacy McCall remain frozen in time, forever 47, 19, and 18, forever missing. The Springfield 3 case remains one of America's most haunting unsolved disappearances. 33 years. No bodies. No arrests. No closure. This is Case Unknown, where we investigate the cases that expose the cost of small mistakes, the weight of secrets, and the families who never stop searching. If this episode made you think about preserving evidence, about how quickly a crime scene can be destroyed, about the secrets people carry, that's the point. Somewhere, someone knows. Here's what's coming next on Case Unknown. A young woman moves to Los Angeles to chase her acting dreams. She's talented, beautiful, full of life. One morning, she goes out to walk her dog. She never comes home. Her body is found days later in a dumpster, wearing someone else's clothes. The police say her ex-boyfriend did it. He says he was framed. 18 years later, he's still in prison. And new evidence suggests he might be innocent. Next time, the murder of Kristen Smutty, when the evidence doesn't match the conviction. Until then, remember, the unknown is only unknown until someone asks the right questions, and sometimes, the people with answers choose silence. This is Case Unknown.